Wood. It's always been one of our most essential building materials. We depend on it for support, shelter, and protection. Once there was a vast supply of large timber to make lumber and panels, the building materials for an ever-expanding world. Today, there continues to be enormous demand for quality wood products. This demand requires the wise use of our natural resources and is driving us to develop more energy-efficient and environmentally sound ways of utilizing it. With sound forest management practices, we're now able to use smaller diameter trees grown in sustainable forests and on carefully managed lands to make better wood products and structural panels than ever before. Perhaps one of the best examples is today's oriented strand board.
Anyone can see this is a lovely home. It's obvious that it's beautifully designed and furnished. But what gives a home like this its real value? Frequently things that can't even be seen once the house is finished. But they are there if you know what to look for.
That's right. Things like structural integrity, the foundation and framework, the materials and how they allow the designer and builder to create something that's solid and built to last. These things really make the difference, and that's why oriented strand board has become the structural panel of choice.
So just what is it that sets OSB apart? Well, as an engineered panel, it meets or exceeds the performance standards of structural panels, including plywood. Manufacturers are engineering OSB to give you the performance you need for a variety of applications. OSB is used in residential and commercial construction as roof sheathing, wall sheathing, floor sheathing, and I-joists. In fact, the use of OSB has been endorsed by most of the hardwood flooring associations.
OSB is also used for structural insulated panels and manufactured housing, as well as numerous industrial applications. And OSB is regulated by all major North American model building code organizations. In construction, quality products have always been critical to a successful finished product. The last place you can afford surprises is in a structural panel. Performance is the bottom line, performance by design, which is the reason today's OSB is so popular.
Since its debut in the marketplace in 1980, OSB has been rapidly accepted. The North American OSB industry has grown to more than 50 mills.
Today, according to the Structural Board Association, or SBA, OSB manufacturers are developing remarkable new OSB products using advanced technology and engineering. These panels are unique in that they can be engineered for specific performance characteristics.
In just a minute, you'll see how this is accomplished through the OSB manufacturing process. But first, let's take a closer look at an OSB panel. As you can see, the strands are oriented in cross layers. The continuous interweaving of the strands in both directions gives OSB the strength and performance professionals and homeowners have come to depend on.
Okay, OSB is strong.
Right.
It's rigid.
Right again.
And it's durable.
Boy, are you on a roll.
Thank you. But what has to happen to get from harvested wood to this?
Let's take a look.
It starts here, in the wood yard, where logs are unloaded at the mill. Now, what's remarkable is that most of the trees used to produce OSB are especially abundant, exceptionally fast-growing, and renewable. This can dramatically reduce the need to harvest more mature trees. Whether the logs are pine, aspen, poplar, or another suitable species, the manufacturing process is basically the same, and the performance standards are just as tough.
In northern regions, the logs are soaked in a hot pond or bath to loosen the bark and remove any frost in winter. Then the logs are run through a debarker to remove the bark. The OSB manufacturing process uses nearly 90% of the log, with the balance, such as the bark, used as fuel in the mill's energy supply.
This process is closely monitored by sophisticated computers to ensure that all the bark is removed and the strands are cut to precise dimensions of up to 6 inches. In fact, the entire manufacturing process is monitored for careful supervision of drying, resin blending, and other processes. Next, the strands are dried under closely controlled temperatures to the specific moisture content required by the mill's choice of resin binder.
After drying, the strands are then mixed with resin binders. A small amount of wax is added to improve the efficiency of the resin binder and to enhance the panel's resistance to moisture and water absorption. The resin binders and waxes are completely cured and stabilized, so there are no measurable emissions from the panels. The strands are then formed into mats. During this process, the unique strength of the panel is being developed by the cross-orientation of the strands. This is the single most important difference between OSB and other structural panels. OSB is an engineered panel.
On its way to the press, the continuous mat of strands is cut to fit the press opening. Each mat is compressed under intense heat, up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and 700 pounds of pressure per square inch to reach its specified design thickness and to form an irreversible bond between the resin binder and the strands. The master panels then head into the mill finish end, where the rough edges are trimmed. Then, the panels are cut to a specified uniform length and width. Depending on the end-use requirements, the panels can have their edges profiled for a tongue and groove joint. The edges are coated, and, if required, the surface is sanded. The panels are then graded, given the mill brand, certification agency stamp, and finally, the SBA stamp. Throughout this highly automated and fully engineered manufacturing process, panels are closely monitored and regularly tested to meet stringent quality standards. This assures panel uniformity and consistency of panel performance. Finally, the panels are ready to be loaded and shipped to final destinations across the world.
As you've just seen, OSB is a structural panel made under exacting standards and engineered for performance. But what do professionals, people like you, have to say about OSB?
In my opinion, the best qualities of OSB are that it's less expensive than other products. It has the same structural properties as other similar building materials, and that it makes a better use of our natural resources in the way that it's produced.
I've been in this business for over 16 years, and I've definitely seen the demand for OSB increase significantly. I think the number one reason would be its cost effectiveness, and the number two reason would be the customer's confidence and satisfaction in this product.
As a building professional, I've been using OSB for the past 15 years. You might want to say that it's become a real commonly used material in my profession. We've had consistent success using the product, and we'll continue using the product.
In my opinion, OSB is rated for a wide range of applications. We use it in all of our custom homes for our roof sheathing, wall sheathing, and in the right application for floor sheathing as well.
In order for us to consistently come within our budget, OSB is the most cost-effective alternative to other building products, and I also feel that the OSB is more structurally sound than other building products.
In construction, quality, workability, and profit make up the bottom line. And the materials you use play a major part in determining whether your project will be a success.
Advanced technology and engineering have produced a structural panel that's engineered to deliver performance. That means oriented strand board is being used in more innovative ways than ever before. At the same time, OSB manufacturers have developed practices that are environmentally sound, energy efficient, and better utilize our natural resources.
There's no question. Technology has given us a better way to use wood, and OSB is the wave of the future. So what's the lesson?
Well, maybe it means that with real commitment and know-how, we can produce better wood products.
And that's something everyone can feel good about.